This is where the team completely falls apart. But in the very next game it looked unstoppable. And then this happened. In this video I'm going to be showcasing one of my favourite teams to play in the Open Great League. This is an ABB style team made up of Gastrodon and Corviknight core, and a Toucannon in the back. Gastrodon and Corviknight make a really solid core because Gastrodon is only weak to one thing, and that's grass, and Corviknight covers that weakness. Both of these are quite bulky mons, so I decided to try a glass cannon in the back in Toucannon. So I can enable the win condition with Toucannon by being able to save shield since my core is so bulky. It's an amazingly fun team to play and I recommend you give it a go. The Toucannon is better as Shadow, but the non-Shadow version works really well too if you're like me and you didn't get the Shadow variant. Okay, in this first game we have Gastrodon into Galarian Wheezing. This is a pretty good lead for us, so of course we stay in, but I was surprised to see that he stayed in too. That's usually a tell that they're weak to your Pokemon in the back. So our win condition here is to save shields for Toucannon, so we kind of need to take every move that the Wheezing will throw. His charge moves will chip us quite a bit here, but our fast move pressure is really strong. Okay, we get the farm down and he brings in a Gastrodon. Now we're pretty weak to this in the back and we do still need to force shields, so I'll throw a Water Pulse. I'd be happy if he shields this or takes it. Okay, he does no shield that. Now we can get the full farm down. We still need to get both of his shields, so we bring in Corviknight here and maybe we can get a shield with a baited payback. Unfortunately there's no time for that because he switches into Morpeko. Now this is seriously bad for us, we're double weak to electric in the back, and this is the downside of playing ABB if they just have the counter to your backline. Now I do try to play every matchup out even when it looks impossible. But for Toucannon to work you really need to burn the shields earlier in the game. He held on to his, so there's just simply no way to win this one. He even throws a Psychic Fangs there, but Toucannon really isn't a Pokemon that you can afford to call baits on. You have to save your shields, you have to use them. So I did get to double Drill Peck here, but of course he saved his shields and he'll easily be able to just shield both of those up, and he'll take me down with the fast move pressure. Now to have played this one better, I should have realised when he stayed in with Wheezing that he could have had an electric in the back, and I could have forced out his Morpeko by switching into Corviknight earlier. And then when Corviknight fell I could have brought Gastrodon back into Morpeko and tried to keep that alignment. In this next game we're up against Shadow Scizor. This is another favourable lead for us, so we stay in. They instantly switch into Primeape, so we counter switch with Corviknight. Primeape is a very spammy Pokemon, but again we need to save shields and it's not that threatening onto Corviknight, so we can take these. We have the fly move in Air Cutter, so we should probably force shields here if we do. Primeape is a glass cannon himself, and Air Cutter is probably strong enough to knock out, so with the Air Cutters it's a real good chance for us to grab both shields or to get one of his mons out pretty early. He does commit both shields here, so we're in a pretty good spot now. He takes out Corviknight and I decide to come in Gastrodon here because Scizor's bullet punches will really hurt Toucannon, but if I come in Gastrodon early then I can come in against Scizor with a huge energy advantage, and since he's no shields this will do a lot of damage. He does get back to back Rage Fist here, but then he actually switches back into Shadow Scizor and just allows me to get a Water Pulse off. If he'd have stayed in there I would have had to dump a lot of energy onto the Primeape. But well, we deal with Scizor and I bring in Toucannon to get an energy advantage. And he has Shadow Greninja in the back, which means he was playing a triple glass cannon team. You've got to respect that. And this is exactly what we saved our shields for. So we shield this up and now I get to my Beak Blast. And this move just absolutely deletes almost any Pokemon. But this is why it's important to get shields earlier in the match. In this final matchup, we are against Gastrodon, and this is another fantastic lead for us. He instantly switches into Primeape, so we counter switch Corviknight. Again with the Air Cutter, this is a great chance for us to grab double shields. Corviknight is bulky, so we can take any move that he throws at us. We get to the Air Cutter and now we get a shield, or probably close to a knockout. The Air Cutter lands and he decides not to shield. That does huge damage and takes him into the red. By not shielding there, he allows us to maintain switch advantage, which means we can realign Gastrodon onto his Gastrodon lead. When he sees this, he immediately switches into Shadow Victory Bell, but of course we have the Toucannon ready in the back. Now he knows he's got no play and he just top lefts. So that's how this Gastrodon Corviknight Toucannon team performs in the Great League. It's strong when alignment goes your way, but can fall apart if the early game slips. Personally, I think Toucannon has real potential here, but it's definitely a team that rewards careful play and prediction. Would you use this team in your climb, or is it still too risky? Drop a comment and let me know, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and if you like this breakdown, consider subscribing to see more content like this in the future.